excited to be here. This is my first all hands out here in Bangalore with the Aditya Group. As you heard, I'm a new kid in the block, a month into the job. So a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiety. But what makes the difference is all the enthusiasm and energy that I see here in this whole hall. So thank you for making me feel at home because for somebody who is absolutely new, I still feel like it's family. I don't feel like I'm in a new place at all. So I start with my sincere thanks for making me comfortable. Okay, so I kind of put together a few slides and I thought I'll walk you through, but Vidya covered it kind of all. So, but it never matters because it's important to look at it in a slightly squiggly finance way. So what we'll look at is first 2022, and then we'll look at what we're looking at for 2023, and then move on to some key important aspects that we should take care as business, and then wrap it up. Okay, so on the revenue, right? So if you look at it, there's a bar chart on the left-hand side, that's the revenue story. And you see three pillars. The first pillar is 2020, the next is 21, and the last one is 2022. So if you look at it, we had a dip in 21, but then in 2022, we grew 12% year over year on the total revenue. And the same story on the headcount. So if you see, our revenue is directly proportional to the way our headcount is moving. So it's like basically growth across all areas, and then we clearly see signs of rebound. So there was a bit of tentativeness after the COVID recovery because of Russia and other issues, but we do see the economy stabilizing quite a bit. And then all of this is possible only because we have a completely committed and passionate team. Next slide. So this chart again shows it all. We not only grow in volume and top line, it's also important how much money we make from a bottom line standpoint. So this graph is a clear depiction of the commitment from our team and the efforts from our team. So it's 3 continuous years of growth on gross margin. And again, the team requires a big round of applause for what we have achieved here. So the next one, it's an even better story because we were in the red, meaning negative. Red is a term that we use in finance for showing something that's not okay. So, and then we kind of progressed further up and we made a 0.6% EBITDA. So which is basically the complete profit that we make net of our cost that we contribute to our shareholders. So again, another big round of applause here. We'll move on to the next chart. So this is 2022 performance on the cash that we collected. One, we delivered a strong gross margin. But then if you look at the collections, we still have about 45% of our receivables which are overdue, which means nearly half of our customers we don't collect on time. But then the good news again here is the significant amount of collection we made through the year. If you look at the pillar here, the green line versus the red line. The red line is the collection, and the green line that you see here is the sales on the right-hand side. We have been collecting at a rate that is faster than our sales, which means our receivables are actually coming down. The only reason you don't see it in the percentages is because the top line is growing, right? Again, a good round of applause for all the team members. It is just not the collection team's effort because we always had support from the people on the line, account managers and client executives to help us get here. Thanks again. Okay, so we'll move on to the next chart. So this is 2023. Again, I would not want to go too much in detail. As Vidya said, we are looking for a 20% year-over-year growth, which is basically collectively across all the groups together. So again, we'll have to make sure we stick to these targets. Last year, target was pretty steep, and I know we kind of fell a bit short, and there were other external factors also influencing it. But we have kind of moderated to be realistic with the current economic conditions, and I think 20% is completely achievable. And again, on the associate count, you see it's going to be a growth story again. So if you look at our financial priorities, we're talking about 20% growth, a 0.7% EBITDA, improved shareholder value, right? Meaning the total bottom line that we contribute. We are also going to invest in technology because that helps us run faster. So the key technology elements that we are introducing to simplify things are Microsoft Dynamics, which is in the finance and accounting space, Info, and Hirecraft on the operations side. And more importantly, what takes us here to meet our target is the winning team, right? It's basically discipline, competitive mindset, ruthless execution, and team spirit. Move on to the next chart. So this is the most important part, right? The earlier ones are more a result of all the actions that we do on ground, what we plan to do on ground. So what is the power to success, right? Very often we sit back and wonder what it is. And for our business, I was sitting back to think, how do I simplify the whole equation into something that we all can comprehend and take away with us? So if you move on to the next chart, I'm basically going to contain this whole thing in two golden triangles, right? And here is the first golden triangle. The first golden triangle talks about the contract structure, right? So the first golden triangle, if you see, the top line is driven by growth, right? That's very, very important. And then it has to grow with a healthy margin. If we have contracts which are very thin margins or very low in margins, it's going to add more pressure to us. And third is cash. And these were the things that Vidya spoke to us at the beginning of the presentations, right? Next slide. The second golden triangle is the execution part, right? This we need in terms of absolute seamless execution. So this again has three elements. First is payroll and attendance, because it not only helps us in invoicing and recovering our collections on time, but also makes sure the most important element of paying associates of time is taken care there. The second is billing. It has to be accurate, timely, and on a consistent with our purchase orders and agreements with the customer. And the last element will be the collection part again. So again, I always keep telling people, cash is king, right? So irrespective of what we do, unless the cash is in the bank, we have not realized what we aspired for. So all our hard work actually goes down the drain if the cash is not in the bank. So again, thank you all for all your support and looking forward to an equally good, exciting new year next year as well. All right. So with that, I'll pass the floor back